was hard for me to want to share, what I enjoyed in my free time, being okay with society's reactions to me.
Just know that you are not alone. You have our community with us, and we are happy to talk to you guys about those things.
So when you're leaving tomorrow, just give me something to hold on to from you. And I'm your
Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Raven.
I'm Max.
And today we're going to do a Q&A. So you guys asked different questions lately, and we want to tell you a little bit more about ourselves. So, how's your week? How are you doing?
Good. It's been a long week. I've been moving freezers. So if you did see on the Instagram, I was in a U-Haul truck. I had to move a new freezer. It doesn't fit in our car, so I had to get a truck.
Crazy.
Yeah. How about you?
Nothing much. I've just been working a lot at the hospital. I've been really busy with that, so I'm trying to find a balance in between work and hanging out, but it's been good.
So we asked the followers the Q&A question. So this is today's question.
What's your favorite Hollywood movie?
My favorite Hollywood movie. I'm going to take that question as just what's my favorite movie, because I feel like most movies are made in Hollywood or I guess in New York. But I have trouble picking a favorite of anything.
Do you have a series? Like a movie trilogy?
No, I really like scary movies. Let me look it up. But what's yours?
I have two. So I really like Star Wars, and I really like Lord of the Rings.
Ooh, nice.
I think they're both amazing, but I think about like details that shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
So like, if I was in the Star Wars universe, I think about their bathroom being very clean.
Yeah.
But if you're in Lord of the Rings, like you're in like medieval time,
Yeah.
it'd be really cool to be like, a knight. But it's also like, where you're using the restroom, and that would suck.
Yeah, you just have to pee your pants, probably.
Yeah, that's why I go kind of Star Wars. I mean, I've been a fan of like Clone Troopers and stuff since I was a kid.
Yeah, I used to play Lego Star Wars on the PS4.
Yeah.
I really like the Lego Star Wars games. I don't really know. It's really hard for me to pick a favorite movie. I really like anything that's scary or sad, but one of my favorite shows that I know is made in Los Angeles is Yellow Jackets. It's very scary, but it's like scary in a realistic way, so it could happen to any of you.
It's like bees.
Basically what happens is a girls' soccer team gets in a plane crash and ends up on a deserted island or like a jungle. So you can tell like that's not going to be good. They have to survive. So the new season comes out soon, but I don't know what happens. So I'm really looking forward to it. But if you don't like scary things and you have a weak stomach, don't watch it because it's definitely really scary. And a few of my friends did not like it. But me and my mom really like it. So if you like scary movies, it's a good show to watch.
You're watching scary movies with your mom?
Yeah, she actually suggested it to me. She said it was really good, and I agree. It was very good.
Speaking of moms, what's your favorite homemade dish?
My favorite homemade dish would probably be either tacos or beef stroganoff, which is like noodles and milk and wine with like steak. And I know I've been vegetarian for forever, but on Christmas I actually went home and I asked my mom to make me that dish and I just wanted to try it. So I ate it and ate the steak and everything. I really liked the meal, it tasted really good, but I did miss steak. So now I'm going back to not eating meat, and I haven't eaten meat since. So
you cheated one time in 4 years on your diet.
Yeah, so a pescatarian for 4 years, ate meat once, didn't like it, so I'll probably continue to be pescatarian for the rest of my life. But yeah, I really like tacos and beef stroganoff. What about you?
I'm part Italian, so I grew up eating a lot of like Italian food. And we used to do like Sunday family dinners. And I was a big fan of chicken piccata. It's like lemon caper sauce with white wine reduction, with pasta. That's a good one. Chicken Alfredo is a classic too.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I really like lasagna. Anything with stuff like ricotta. Okay, so this is a new one. Have you ever had hay fever?
I hate the word hay fever.
So in America, we call it allergies. So basically it's like when the pollen is in the air and it's like a season and you get really stuffed up, your nose is congested, different things like that. How would you explain it?
Yeah, what you said. Dust, the seasonal change, going to different climates.
Yeah.
I don't call it hay fever because I always think of a farm.
Yeah.
And I think of like hay barrels.
Me too.
And like, both of us grew up in like kind of rural, or been in rural areas. Yeah. And so hanging out, we hear hay. I'm not allergic to hay directly, but I'm allergic to the allergies, dust, down feathers for me specifically.
Down feathers?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what's causing
You see a really
me and
stuffy
my friend
nose.
to have really bad allergies because we have a down feather comforter.
For me, I got rid of down feather stuff,
Okay.
and my allergies got a lot better. They have hypoallergenic, like comforter covers.
Yeah, I get like a bamboo one or something.
Yeah.
I used to pretend I had allergies when I was little because I wanted to be included. Like my friends had glasses, I would wear glasses even though I didn't need them. I do need them now, but I would like put rubber bands in my mouth because I wanted to pretend I had braces, which I did end up needing braces. So I did end up needing all these things, but I used to take allergy pills because I did have allergies against like the cats and dogs, but I don't think I really had like true allergies. So I used to take allergy pills when I was little, and I think that's why I have allergies now, because I like would take those pills and like my body would like
You
rely
trained yourself
on
to
it.
be allergic?
Yeah, and I didn't really have them as much in Michigan, but I noticed I have them a lot more in Los Angeles. My nose will be stuffed, I won't be able to breathe, I'll be up all night. So
Do you have any recommendations if you have an allergy attack?
Yeah, I know eucalyptus can be good.
Like a tea?
Yeah, like or just like putting it in your shower.
Whoa.
I think, but I don't think that's good for asthma. So only for allergies. Because if you have the two combination, you have to be careful. But also, like I've been drinking like mullein tea and like cardamom, cinnamon, lemon, ginger. Those type of things are good for like clearing out your lungs.
Yeah.
And then I have pets as well, so I get allergy spray that I spray all over the house to try to make everything.
Air purifier?
Yeah, I have an air purifier.
Me too.
A humidifier.
Yep.
So, but do you have any other suggestions?
Ooh. If you have asthma like me, just breathe better.
Yeah.
That's been my answer.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times hot showers work really good for me, just to kind of clear my sinuses out. I used to do like the neti pot, like where you pour the water through your nose.
Those are fun.
I take there's like a couple allergy over the counter thing called like Flonase.
Yeah.
Afrin.
Yeah.
That I take and I shoot up my nose. But I also have like a deviated septum.
Yeah, so it's hard.
And so I just can't breathe normally anyway.
Have you ever had an asthma attack?
Always.
Is that scary?
When I first had my asthma attack, I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And so I just sat in the shower for like 45 minutes. My dad was like, do I need to take you to the hospital? Can you not breathe? And I was like, I think I could breathe through it.
Yeah.
And my whole back was super knotted up and tight.
Yeah.
But I made it through.
Oh.
I mean, I ran track with asthma, so it's kind of like...
strengthening that muscle.
Yeah, it was more like a nuisance than like a hindrance. It was
Yeah.
like a pain.
Yeah.
Like, this sucks, but... Yeah, I used to carry one like my pocket, like in my backpack. Now I just kind of like, if I have it, I have it. Otherwise, just breathe better.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is not the best solution, but...
Honestly, I am trying to find more work opportunities, like since not being able to make money off YouTube, I'm honestly really struggling. I just need to, like, I've been taking pictures, I want to submit myself to new agencies, try to get back into modeling.
Nice.
I'm dying, guys.
She's dying.
As you can tell, my allergies are not great right now. But then I also have been reading a lot of books, watching podcasts. I've been trying to work out and gain weight. I feel like I've lost a lot of weight out of like stress, so I'm trying to gain more weight. But yeah, I'm really just trying to figure out how I can like set my life up and like what my career is gonna look like now that I'm not doing YouTube. So yeah, what about you?
Let's see, what have I been up to lately? So I still work for my food company. We're about to go public in Japan.
That's
actually.
Cool.
Yeah. Konpeto, shout out. Our CEO actually comes to town end of this week. We'll be hanging out.
Cool.
And so he's actually a fan of the channel as well.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
It's doing really well out here. We're getting really familiar with Japanese businesses.
Yeah.
U.S. business is a bit different because they're a bit close-guarded. They don't like spending money as much. But then Japanese companies tend to be a little bit more conscientious about their employees.
Yeah.
And I get to use my Japanese a lot more.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome.
Yeah. Other than that, I need to work out more.
Yeah.
I'm getting fat again.
Yeah. I'm trying to get fat.
Yeah, we can trade. I can give you some.
Yeah.
Now, what's your screen time looking like?
So, my screen time. Today, it's 4 hours.
Wow, what?
Which, I feel like that is more honest of what it is. But it says that my week is 9 hours a day. So, if I'm doing 9 hours a day, it has to be like music. Because I don't know what I would be doing on my phone for 9 hours. I only talk to like 2 people and I don't get on Instagram or anything anymore. Yeah, what's yours today?
Almost at 11.
He's almost at 11 hours today on his phone.
But I've been up since 5:30 a.m. I've been on YouTube for almost 6 hours. I was using Google Map for 3 hours today, so I did a lot of driving today. I drove all the way down to Irvine and back this morning.
See, mine just said 4 hours and now it says 5 hours. So
Hey,
this
you
is
know.
a lie and I don't trust screen time.
What are your top
but
used apps? Oh no, it's really just messages.
I don't think it even shows.
If you have it open in the background, that could be it. I bought YouTube Premium, and that's been one of my favorite subscriptions.
Yeah.
I use it all the time. During this week, so far I'm down 7%. This week I'm only at 9 hours, and it's Monday. When I do a lot of driving, I tend to drive a lot for work, so like I'll go to different locations and offices. And because I'm going to different offices, it's like a lot of time in the car, and that just kind of racks up my screen time here.
What's your daily average of pickups?
How do I do that?
We go down.
83. I pick up my phone a lot.
I pick up mine 150.
Well, you're texting. Your most used app is messages.
Yeah, I'm texting.
Mine's YouTube. So I'm like changing videos. Line, YouTube, LinkedIn. I've been doing a lot of my alarm has been on for 2 hours. TikTok, Google Maps. I spend a lot of time on YouTube, and then Line is usually what I use to message a lot of my friends, and that kind of takes up instead of messages.
So yeah, I guess most of my stuff is just me texting.
Who is your favorite YouTuber?
Ooh. Well, I play a really weird video game, and so I really like this guy, a couple people. Like, one guy's name's Maximum. He also has my same name. And then another guy's named Dorky, and there's another guy named Quasi. And those are like, they have a podcast with another guy named Dratnos, and a lot of video game people that I watch. Most of my YouTube content is just, my YouTube features video games.
Yeah. But I'm really trying to get into some podcasts.
What kind of podcasts do you think?
I want things that are gonna like help my life and mental health, like things that'll help me make money, things that'll help me grow as a person.
So like
stuff
motivation.
that. Motivational podcasts. I need
Like
something.
psychology?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, another question that you guys were wondering, what are 3 conditions you seek in a partner?
Narrowing down to 3 is hard.
Yeah, 3 is hard.
What's your top 3 out of many more, I'm sure?
Well, for one, I think that I always have conditions I want in a partner, but whether I actually stick to it when I talk to someone is a different question, because I'll say I want one thing and then completely date someone the opposite. So I need to stop doing that. But basically 3 things that I'm looking for in a partner is, 1, I really want support.
What do you mean by support?
Like support, like if we're going through something that's really hard, I don't want that person to be quick to like run away. Or if something happens to me, or even if I make a mistake that's like not a good thing, I still want them to be here for me. Like, I feel like everybody makes mistakes and bad things are gonna happen. Your relationship is gonna be really tested. At some points, it's not always going to be happy. So I think it's important to have a partner that doesn't like give up on you and is willing to still love you through
your flaws.
The flaws. I don't know, just not make you feel alone.
Yeah.
Like, I would really like somebody that
take my flaws and help me, you know.
grow. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't like something about me, that's okay.
Yeah.
But be there for me to help me.
So one for me, I would have to say is being able to trust. So I'm a very trusting person. So I'm someone that, you know, when in a relationship, I don't feel like I have to text you, who are you hanging out with? What are you doing? You know, send me a picture when you're out and about. Like if you go on a girls' night, you know, I'm going to say, have fun. I can't wait for you to tell me about it.
Yeah.
If you like me, you're going to be with me. And if I tell you I'm going to go do something, you know, I can tell you who, what, where, when, why.
Yeah. So do you have any advice for how to regain trust once it's broken? Because I've had relationships in the past where our trust is broken. Like maybe they do something to betray my trust, or I do something to betray theirs. Kind of creates a toxic environment, because then you're going to be like 100 times
On
more
edge.
like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Totally.
So once someone's like going through one of those hard times, like, do you have any advice that someone that's like dealing with how to get trust back, or like dealing with like insecurity in their relationship?
Totally. I think it's definitely not an easy task, but I think what's really important in those kind of situations where, you know, trust by one person is compromised is figuring out, okay, this might have not worked for one reason or another, I messed up, they messed up, but we have to acknowledge the problem, that it happened, it occurred. We somewhere along the lines things got messed up.
Yeah.
And the next step is forgiveness.
Yeah.
I think is huge, which can be really hard for some people.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you have to forgive and you have to move on. If you're willing to go and willing to actually stick it out with someone, you're going to be like, bumping the road.
Yeah.
But we have to keep going forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the only way through is by talking it out.
Yeah.
And so spending a lot of time, I think it takes hours,
Mm-hmm.
conversations, and I think it takes a lot of time to speak with the person,
Mm-hmm.
understand why they feel hurt,
Mm-hmm.
what hurt them, what about the action didn't feel good,
Mm-hmm.
and then being like, I apologize for it. In the future, I'm going to work on it to do better.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever worth promising something that can never happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this will never happen again. Well, it might. So I think the best way to approach it is saying, forgive me for this. Let's move forward together so that we can reach a conclusion that works the best for both of us.
Yeah.
Support. You have to figure out,
Support.
walk hand in hand. If it's someone you really care about and really want to make things work with, even if it hurts, you're going to have to take the steps to keep walking forward with this person and say, this is the person I'm willing to stand by through the good and the bad.
Yeah.
It's never going to be sunshine and rainbows all the time.
I agree. I think trust is also a big thing for me, though. And, not even trust, but, loyalty. If you're the type of guy that wants to, see other women, I want to know that from the beginning. Because then that's my choice if I want to, talk to you and you also talk to other women.
Totally.
Or, if you just want it to be us.
Yeah.
You can't just, assume that I'm going to be faithful to you just because we didn't have a conversation. I want
Exactly.
to have,
Clear
communication and
boundaries.
trust and loyalty. You know what I'm saying? I don't want any secrets.
Be open with your intentions the moment you talk with someone about dating.
Yeah.
For me, when I talk to someone about dating, I'm getting to the age where I'm looking to see if this person might be a match for marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to get married?
Yeah.
Do you want to have kids?
Mm-hmm.
When do you want to have kids? How many kids do you want?
Yeah.
I think, when you're younger, you don't have to think about it as much, but for me at least, it's stuff that I think about. And so when I go to date someone, that's a conversation I have really up front, after the first or second date.
Yeah, but really, just communication and trust and I don't know, I want that person to be my best friend.
Yeah.
And things aren't always going to be the best, but just if they can give me that type of unconditional love, then I think that's the most important thing,
And if it's something you enjoy, you also have to compromise for, they should compromise for you, as you should compromise for them, you know?
I think just definitely compromising. Don't always make somebody else change for you, and be okay with changing for other people. You can change little things without changing who you truly are.
Totally.
I think that's just the mature thing to do, if you want to be in a relationship. It takes a lot of work.
Yeah. So I had one person I was with, and she doesn't like gum, but I chew a lot of gum. And so every time I have a piece of gum, I always offer them a piece of gum. And they always say no, and they're like, I don't want chew gum. I'm like, there's going to be one time in your life where you're going to say yes, and I'll be ready.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's sweet, though. See, that's not you giving up. You're still offering. I think that's sweet.
It's 2 extra words.
Yeah.
So when you die,
Okay.
how do you want to be remembered? What's going to be on your tombstone? Here lies Raven.
I don't know. I feel it's changed a lot in my life, but I really just feel I am and want to be known for a person that just really loves the people around her. I feel I'm a lot of support for everybody around me. So just being known for that.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to be known for modeling or something like that. I would like to be known for who I am as a person more than something that's egotistical.
What would be your one-liner?
But if I could do something that's more egotistical, then I think it would be cool to be an actress or something like that. But yeah, I really like those type of things. What about you?
My egotistical side came out, and I was the blue-eyed wonder.
Yeah. Beauty.
Only because I find it really funny that my blue eyes have been a standout feature my whole life.
Yeah.
For better and worse.
Right.
And I don't know, I think it'd be kind of funny.
Right.
But yeah, I agree with you. I'd rather be remembered as this was a good guy,
Yeah.
Just something I don't need to be remembered for doing something great. I just remembered for not being, being someone that people were that's a cool guy.
Yeah. I think I used to feel you had to accomplish something really spectacular for your life to be correct. Everybody says oh, I need to do everything that I possibly can do with your life. But I personally think that the point of life is just to experience it. I don't think that you need to work and do some crazy accomplishment just for you to have a good life. So I think it's really important just to take care of yourself and get to know yourself and love who you want to love and just have fun instead of putting so much pressure to be something great.
Yeah. So last but not least, what are some things that make you feel anxious?
Anxious. Okay. For me, I am the most anxious person ever. Like, actually, I'm like not anxious when things are going well. I'm really healthy when things are going well, but as soon as things go bad, I get really anxious. The main things that I get anxious about are money and relationships. So those have like a really bad effect on me, probably because when I was young, money was an issue, and like just like if you don't feel like everything is secure at home, you kind of put like security into your relationships because like you're really looking forward to having like a new start, a new life. So I think those two things I put a lot of pressure on in my life, and those give me the most anxiety. But what about you?
What makes me anxious? Dying too early. Money for sure. Money's up there. I think it's different for different countries, but I think at least for the US, money plays a big role in our life. And I think it's something that, you know, they say money won't solve all your problems, but sure as heck will solve the ones you want to have done. I always say money doesn't buy happiness, it buys you freedom.
Exactly.
It gives you freedom to worry about other things.
To try to become happy.
I had the same thing with relationships. Well, for me, I cared way too much about like appearances to others as a kid, and so I spent a lot of time growing up trying to be like the perfect person. So I'd be, you know, good qualities are like first one there, last one to leave. I'm always volunteering. I'm always doing a bunch of stuff and spreading myself way too thin. But that took away from who I was. To the point where, as I got older, I realized I don't have anything that I personally enjoy. It was always I don't mind doing anything.
That's how I feel too. I like really just not people please.
Of course.
But I like didn't really know what I genuinely liked. Because I was so okay with doing everything.
You don't hate doing everything.
I'm like, okay, I'll try it. Like if you guys want to do that, I don't really have an opinion, so like let's go do that. But then you like realize you're like, well, what do I genuinely like to do?
How did you go about, you know, finding what you liked rather than what you didn't mind doing?
I think one thing for me, like finding things that you really enjoyed as a kid, like before like social pressures started to kind of shape who you were. So like when I was young, I really liked to like play with animals. I really liked to do sports. I was really social. I like art, music. So I just kind of try to get back into like those things that I really enjoyed as a kid. And then just kind of trying new things and kind of reflecting on like how it made me feel at the end of the night. I think reflection is super important. I'm a big thinker, and sometimes I'll think too much, that it'll kind of distract me away from what's happening. But I feel like journaling is really nice. You could be like, how did this make me feel? What type of people am I meeting by doing this? And what I enjoyed about it was being around my friends, dancing. It didn't really have anything to do with like the alcohol or like everybody that was at the club. It was more that I wanted to be around my friends, and I really enjoyed dancing. And there's just like other things you can do those things. Like you can do other things with your friends. You can go dancing. You can do different things. So I think just thinking about why you like something, and is there other things you can do to kind of get that same like feeling. You know?
I always thought of it having like two sides. So like for example, I've been playing this one video game that I still play my whole life, but no one knew I played it until I graduated college. So like from elementary school, middle school, high school, outside of like 2-3 people I knew I played like, you know, video games. To the rest of the world, I was this jock. I was you know, hanging out with everyone. I was this athlete, definitely a very stupid one, but an athlete. And so like it was hard for me to want to share, you know, what I enjoyed in my free time, and then being okay with society's reactions to me liking what I like. Being saying, you know, I'm a total nerd on the inside. But like sharing that I'm a nerd with people that only see you as a jock was a weird like,
balance. And I feel like the more you get your own confidence, the more you're like, I do both of these things, and it's really cool, you know? But it takes like that first step of you like admitting and seeing how other people actually do accept it for you to like be able to open up.
And then if you have a negative reaction, I feel like that could even shut you down more.
Yeah.
And then I think if you do have a negative reaction with sharing stuff like that and sharing what you like, and then it doesn't go well, I think you should take the time to find different people. I mean, if people don't like you for what you like, then I think you need new friends.
Yeah. I think that's also really good advice. I feel like I love people 100%, so even when somebody's not the best for me, I'll kind of hold on to them because I don't want them to feel abandoned or gave up on.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you get the treatment that you allow. If you keep someone in your life that just doesn't appreciate who you are, then sometimes that is the best thing to do, is just to find people that really accept you for who you are.
You want to get the energy drainers out of your life.
Yeah, exactly. I know, right? Well, how do you deal with anxiety when you're really struggling with that?
I breathe. I try to breathe. I think when I do have anxiety, you know, I tend to spiral.
Me too.
And so I've never once stopped myself out of, you know, insanity.
Yeah.
And so I think when I'm spiraling like that, what really helps me is kind of going back to my comfort space.
Yeah.
You know, for me it's video games. And then journaling, if it's writing down how I feel. For me, a big thing is naming the emotions that I feel.
Yeah.
So like, if I feel anxious, what do I feel anxious about? Well, I feel sad that this is happening. I feel angry that this is happening. And then, you know, naming my emotions, for me at least, feels like I'm gaining control of my life.
Nice. Yeah, for me, I feel like the normal things, like a day-to-day basis, are like having a good routine, so like yoga, making sure you eat. But there's times when you're so anxious that nothing helps, like at all. Like you just want to sit there and cry and freak out.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like in those times, the things that help me the most are, for one, if I'm like crying and I cannot get a hold of myself, like drinking something, because I feel like my brain like switches off of like, okay, you're not gonna cry anymore. You're consuming something, like not alcohol or anything, but just like a juice or like whatever. Like eating something, kind of. I know sometimes you don't want to eat, but like drinking is easy for me, so that kind of gets the tears to kind of chill and stop. Another thing is like walking. I try to go outside and I literally will leave my phone and act like a crazy person and just walk for like miles until I feel like, okay, like I can go back right now, because sometimes you just freak out. And then another thing is that I'm trying to do is turn off my phone. Let's say it's a fight with a relationship. If I'm feeling really anxious and they need space, all I want to do is like call them and be like, will you please be here for me right now? I need you so bad. And that kind of scares them away, because you're just like calling them like when they need space. So just like turn off my phone and just deal with the problems on my own. And then also like having someone you can call or like go to. Like, I always go to my roommates. They're like my best friends in the whole entire world. They're probably annoyed at how much free therapy I get out of them. Sometimes like if you feel really alone and you're dealing with something by yourself, sometimes if you just tell one other person, like just their company alone will help you feel more supported.
Totally.
And then the last thing is therapy. I just started therapy recently and it's been really, really good for me. I almost wish I could have it 2 times a week. I only have it 1 time a week right now. I have it on Tuesdays at 10 o'clock, everyone. I think that's been helping me kind of make sense of like, am I being healthy, or is this person being healthy, or like who's right and who's wrong?
And then how to deal with your trauma.
And just like realizing like why I am the way I am. Like, and I'm like, why am I doing this? Like something that I could be upset over.
I love it.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing all your stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Just know that if you are dealing with anything right now that you're super anxious about, or you feel like life is putting a lot of pressure on you, or relationships or your family situation is really upsetting you, just know that you are not alone. People, even family sometimes, which really hurts, you can get out of it. So just make sure you focus on yourself. You have our community with us, so if you want to message us, we are happy to talk to you guys about those things. But life is not perfect. It's not always going to be happy all the time. So just make the best of it and know that you are loved. So we will talk to you guys next time. Have a good night.
If you have more questions like this, please let us know down below.
Comment below and subscribe.
Drop a like, subscribe, hit that note button.
Thank you.